Dear student, due to coronavirus, school started online classes for your study. So you can subscribe Golden Flower Palia YouTube channel, like and press the bell icon.
Hello students, today I am going to explain you the next colligative property and the last colligative property. More correctly, if we say this is the osmotic pressure, and before I am going to make you explain that colligative property, osmotic pressure, I'll explain you the osmosis. You have to understand what is the osmosis. Then afterward we are going to have an explanation about the osmotic pressure. Okay. So what is osmosis first? Okay, let me explain you what is osmosis. If we take two solutions, I have a container and having two solutions separated by a semi-permeable membrane. It is semi-permeable membrane. Okay, this is the semi-permeable membrane. What is the semi-permeable membrane? It is a kind of filter which can allow the solvent molecules to pass through it. Okay, only solvent molecule can pass from one place to another place. Solute part cannot pass through it. Okay, solute molecules cannot pass through it. So this is a semi-permeable membrane. So this is the semi-permeable membrane, and it is separating two solution, and one of the solution it is having high concentration and another it is having the low concentration. Concentration means concentration of solute. Okay, and you have to keep remember that semi-permeable membrane, it allow only the solvent molecules. Okay, this process is about to equalize the concentration on the both sides. When two solutions are kept in the contact with each other and they are just separated by a semi-permeable membrane, they will have a tendency to equalize their concentration. And how can they equalize concentration? By removing the solvent part. Okay, who is going to be remove their solvent part? Who is going to be give their solvent part to the other one? So whatever the solution is having the lower concentration of solute, they might have more solvent molecules, and it is having less solvent molecule available. Now when they both are kept in contact with each other and separating with a semi-permeable membrane which can allow the solvent part to pass through it, so the solvent molecule will start passing from low concentration of solute to high concentration of solute. Okay, so who is going to be passed from this? Solvent molecules are going to be passed. Okay, so solvent molecules are passing from lower concentration to higher concentration of solute. When two solutions having different concentration are kept in contact and separated by a semi-permeable membrane. So solvent molecules are passing from lower concentration of solute to the higher concentration of solute. This process is known as osmosis. I'm not going to write the definition over here. You must write the definition as I'm speaking here. Okay, and you can take the help of the book. Okay, so you have understood what is osmosis. In osmosis process, you are going to be keep two solutions having different concentration of solute and they are separated by a semi-permeable membrane. Then solvent molecules start passing from lower concentration of solute to higher concentration of solute. Okay, so this process is known as osmosis. I'll give you a daily life example. Suppose you are keeping the grapes in water. What happens? The grapes are going to be burst. Why they are going to be burst? Because the upper peel of the grapes, it acts as a semi-permeable membrane and it is kept in the water. So water has lower concentration of solute and grapes, inside the grape there it is a high concentration of solute. There it is a solution, sugary solution inside it, that grapes. Okay, so what happens now? this water part is going to be enter inside the grapes, and grapes are going to be swell up, and it will be difficult to hold that water inside the grapes, so they are going to be burst. Okay, so this is an example of the osmosis. So osmosis, what they do, when the two solutions are kept in contact with each other by the semi-permeable membrane, they are just separated. They are going to be equalize their concentration. And how they are going to be equalize their concentration? By giving their solvent molecule from lower concentration to high concentration. So here we need to understand what is osmotic pressure and how it is a colligative property, and why we are calling it a colligative property. You know very well what is the colligative property. That depends upon the number of solute particles. Okay, so here it is a time to explain the osmotic pressure. What is that? So for that I am going to take a vessel once again. This is a vessel we have, and this is a semi-permeable membrane which allow only the solvent molecules, and this part we have kept a solution with lower concentration of solute, and this is the solution which is having higher concentration of solute. Okay, higher concentration of solute, lower concentration of solute, and they both are separated by the semi-permeable membrane. Here I have kept a glass tube and it is filled till here. Okay, this will tell us whether that solvent molecules are passing or not passing from the lower concentration to higher concentration. If this level is going to be decreased, then that means the solvent molecules are passing to another side. If it becomes steady, it is not going to be change the level, that means the solvent molecules stop passing from that part. Okay, the concentration both the solution become equal to each other now. Okay, now here what we do, we make a small arrangement that we are going to keep here a piston. Okay, a piston which can be pushed inside and can be pulled outside, and it is just for exerting the pressure of this solution having the high concentration. Okay, so here we have a solution with high concentration, and there we made an arrangement of the piston which can exert the pressure of that solution of higher concentration, and there it is a glass tube which can tell us that the solvent molecules are passing or not passing. So as they are kept in the contact in normal condition, as we are keeping them in contact and they are separating by a semi-permeable membrane, this is the semi-permeable membrane, So when we are going to keep them and separating them with a semi-permeable membrane, solvent molecules are going to be passed from the lower concentration of solute to the higher concentration of solute. In that sense, we are going to exert a pressure from outside. Some external agent is pushing that piston inside, and what happens? What happens when we are pushing that piston inside? We are pushing that piston to exert the external pressure. So what will happen? This passing of solvent molecule from the lower concentration to the higher concentration, it is going to be reduced. A time will come when the solvent molecules stop passing, the level becomes steady here, and that pressure that we are exerting on the solution of higher concentration, that is called osmotic pressure. So what is the osmotic pressure? I am going to write the definition here. Osmotic pressure is the external pressure exerted on the solution of higher concentration in order to stop the process of osmosis. Okay, so this is a pressure which when applied on the solution of higher concentration, it stops the process of osmosis. More correct definition you can see from the NCERT book. It's just understandable. I'm making you understand that what is this all about, what is this osmotic pressure. Okay, not exactly the words to words I'm not going to write here on the from the book. So osmotic pressure is what? That is the external pressure we are going to apply on the solution of higher concentration, that is going to be stop the process of osmosis. And what was the osmosis? It was the passing of solvent molecule from the solution of lower concentration to the solution of higher concentration in order to equalize the concentration of both of them. Okay, so that was the osmosis, and that is stopped by the external pressure. Okay, clear it is. So why we are applying this external pressure? Is there any change in the pressure of both? Because when the concentration of a solution is lower, that means the vapor pressure is lower. The vapor pressure is higher. Sorry, not lower, it is higher because the concentration is lower. Okay, more is the solute added into the solvent, it is going to be decrease the vapor pressure. Okay, it's all about equalizing the vapor pressure. When two solutions are kept in contact and having the different concentration of the solute molecules, that means they have a different amount of vapor pressure of them. Okay, they are having different vapor pressure. So which one having higher vapor pressure, which one having lower vapor pressure? Solution with lower concentration of solute molecules is having higher vapor pressure, and solution with higher concentration of solute is having lower vapor pressure. So how much amount of the vapor pressure it is lower than the solution with lower concentration? So whatever amount of vapor pressure it is lower, that we are going to be exert from the external side. Okay, so when their vapor pressure becomes equal to each other, the osmosis process going to be stopped. Okay, that is all about the osmotic pressure. So what is osmotic pressure? It is the external pressure applied on the solution of higher concentration which stop the process of osmosis, which stop the movement of solvent molecule from the solution of lower concentration to the solution of higher concentration. So that is all about the osmotic pressure. Okay, so here I am going to write the formula of osmotic pressure. So what is osmotic pressure's formula? How we are going to calculate osmotic pressure mathematically? So osmotic pressure is equal to P V is equal to nRT. Okay, this is what is, or we can write it as N upon V RT. Okay, where N upon V it is C, that is concentration. Okay, this is concentration. C is concentration, as N is number of moles of solute. I'm not going to drive the formula because there is no importance to driving the formula here, because we have just to solve the numericals related to this topic. So nothing to do with the derivation of this formula. So that is why I'm not driving the formula. So N is the number of moles of solute, V is the volume of solution in liter. Okay, so number of moles upon volume of solution in liter, that is called molarity, and molarity it is we are explaining here with the concentration. So here I have written concentration. Okay, C is the concentration, that is molarity, that is the number of moles per liter of solution. R is the gas constant. Okay, and T is the temperature in Kelvin. Okay, I have not told you the importance of temperature. Okay, so when we are exerting any external pressure, that means the osmotic pressure we are measuring, then temperature must be constant. Okay, the temperature must be constant, it is not going to be changed. because we are taking concentration in account, and we know very well when we are going to change the temperature, that concentration is going to be changed, the volume is going to be changed. So when you are increasing the temperature, volume going to be increase. When we are decreasing the temperature, volume is going to be decrease. Is that clear? So temperatures has a lot of effect on the concentration. So if we are going to change the temperature, the concentration of the solution is going to be changed, then we cannot calculate the osmotic pressure, okay, correctly. So there must be the temperature must be constant. So temperature, when the temperature is constant, the external pressure exerted on the solution of higher concentration, which stops the further osmosis, which stops the movement of solvent molecule from the lower concentration to the higher concentration, that is called osmotic pressure. So the temperature must constant, and this is the quantity due to which we are using the osmotic pressure to measure the molecular mass of biomolecules, the large molecules, polymeric molecules. Okay, why we are going to use that osmotic pressure only to measure the molecular mass of such molecules? Because these are the molecules, the biomolecules are the such kind of molecules, when the temperature is going to be changed, their properties are going to be changed. So that is why we are taking osmotic pressure, not elevation of boiling point, not depression of freezing point, not lowering of vapor pressure, relative lowering of vapor pressure. Instead, we are taking osmotic pressure to measure the molecular mass of biomolecules, because biomolecules are such kind of molecules on changing the temperature of which their properties are going to be changed. So osmotic pressure is the property which we are measuring at a constant temperature. We are not going to change the temperature of the osmotic pressure. So keep remember, for measuring the molecular mass of the biomolecules, we have to take osmotic pressure. We have to measure the mass by using the osmotic pressure, and this question comes in the board examination also, why the osmotic pressure is preferring to measure the molecular mass of the biomolecules. So keep remember this question also, that is very important. This was the formula. Pi v is equal to nRT, and pi can be written as n upon v RT. What is the pi? Pi is the osmotic pressure. Okay, osmotic pressure, it is a pressure. Okay, so unit will be the same of the pressure. Clear everybody? So this was the osmotic pressure and here it comes three more terms. What is it about? It about the osmotic pressure of that terms. Like we are having the solution, two solutions, we are having both have the same osmotic pressure, or one is having high osmotic pressure, another is having a low osmotic pressure. So what we call them? Okay, depends upon the osmotic pressure of a solution. We have given the different name of that type of solutions. So there are three type of solution. One is isotonic, another is hypertonic, okay, and then hypotonic. Okay, so equal osmotic pressure. If two solutions having equal osmotic pressure, then they are called isotonic. Hypertonic and hypotonic, they are two solutions kept in the contact with each other. So which one will have higher osmotic pressure will call hypertonic, and that will have the lower osmotic pressure is called hypotonic. So hypotonic is what? High vapor pressure, so high osmotic pressure, okay, and this is low osmotic pressure. Is it clear to everybody? So what is isotonic, what is hypertonic, what is hypotonic? It is to be remember, it is to be memorized, because when we are solving the questions, so in such kind of questions, sometimes it is given two isotonic solutions are kept in closest to each other, kept in contact with each other. One is having this much concentration, another is having that much concentration. So there you have to keep remember, if they are isotonic, their osmotic pressure is going to be equal each other. If one of them is hypertonic, another it is hypotonic. Okay, so hypertonic will have high osmotic pressure and hypotonic will have low osmotic pressure. So this was for today only, and next part, the want of factor, I'm going to explain in the next video along with the numericals. Okay, we are going to solve a number of numericals now. Okay, the next video definitely will be a long video, 1 hour, 1.5 hour. Okay, so I'm going to explain in that video how to solve the numerical from this particular chapter, because numericals are very important. If you know the concept, if you know the formula, you have to know the method solving the numericals also. Okay, till then, thank you so much.
Do self study at home and stay home, save lives.